Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go through something you asked for in the comments. A lot of people have asked me and I'm not 100% sure about the answer. That's why I'm gonna make this video to clarify who is the best farmer in the game. And I'm not like I don't have like all the farmers of the game tier 4, so I'm gonna go through the tier 4s I have, and I believe got the most chances to be the best. Of course, I have like 7 tier 4s, but guys like Iron Man, Moon Knight are really good for single targeting. Carnage is really good for, you know, accumulating damage taken. So in these stages you can't really do a lot of damage. Even if he has AoE, he don't have so much. So yes, Iron Man, Moon Knight, Hulk and Carnage feels like to be, you know, B tier on that, but Magneto, Jean and Thor are like have the best chances in my opinion. So we're gonna go through these 3 characters and we're gonna go through dimension rifts and perhaps dispatch to see the value of the characters and how fast they are going through the content, you know, if they can do like the same time or someone can do it faster. So if you use the fastest guy, you're gonna have more runs of dimension rifts in the 30 minutes that you can open it, and that's really important because you could get more tokens and be able to use it on a mythic rift, or you know, take advantage of others' rift faster and getting more materials and more artifacts from them. Also on dispatch mission, while you're asleep and you have let your phone, you know, doing that, people do, let it farm alone, you know, you want to see from which character you're gonna get the most value on it. So before we go through that, I want you to make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, smash the like button and comment down below in the comments what are you using for farming dimension rifts. And I'm letting dimension rifts here because this is the most important farming, you know, one single for one character mode, because on these spots, to be honest, I prefer using more like 3 DPSs and do faster, as fast as I can go through, because all these 3 are doing damage in the same time. On Rift you have only one doing the damage, so that's why here we want to find the one that we're gonna put 2 supports on him and he's gonna do faster this job on autoplay, of course, because you want to let your phone on autoplay. So let's go into the build of the characters. My Thor is kind of fat, as you can see. He got a couple of Odin's blessing. He's missing only like 1 to be awakened from his Urus, and I'm gonna use Jean as a striker for him. And what else? Yes, stage 12 powerful Hungry Hulk. I have his own artifact and I have brilliant rage on him with mythic uniform. In the same time for Jean I have these stats. I'm missing a bit critical rate, but I'm soft capped because she got a skill that gives you critical rate. I think it's the 5th skill. Yeah, the 5th skill gives you 45% critical rate, so you are capped even if you are not capped, because your 5th skill is going to be ready every 7 seconds and has a 10-second duration for the buff. So you're pretty much capped on critical rate if you use your 5th skill. I have here artifact also, stage 4, like 4-star like Thor's, and I also have a mighty judgment instead of brilliant rage, mythic uniform also. For Magneto, I have like a couple of Odin's blessing also, like Thor. With Jean, I have full Odin's blessing, to be honest. She's one of my favorites to build, you know. I have put a lot of love on here. I'm using Gore here, but you know, you could use anyone else, but there are not a lot of destructions tier 3. So you could go and not use his own artifact ability and use, you know, don't use his instinct ability, but the other's gonna gives you less buff, so I prefer having the maximum buff from Gore, or you know, whoever else you want to put here. Loki is also a good case. So yes, I'm gonna use Loki, to be honest, for this one. And what else? Overdrive. I have his own artifact, level 80, like Thor's, and level 10 for Jean, and a Mighty Rage here, Mythic Uniform also. So the first team I'm going to use is the one I used to use, and have Thor as a leadership. Thor can take advantage of his own leadership here because of the artifact. The artifact actually gives you 20% lighting damage depending on the lighting resist you have. So when you're putting your Thor as a leadership, you're having 100% lighting resist. If you already have some on your cards, like I have a lot of lighting resist in my cards, that's, you know, that's something you should you know, be aware on. So look at this. If you put Thor here, he's losing like yeah, 57%, basically 50% lighting resist, but his lighting damage it's 43. And if you swapped him here, his lighting damage goes into 58%, and also he's getting some buff through that because of his own leadership. So I'm using him as a leader to get this buff, you know, and double support for that with Valkyr and Fox. From these characters, the only character that can take advantage of the leadership tag of Fox is Thor. So that's yeah, this is the leadership tag Fox and Thor shares, and the buff of Fox is on her uniform. No, it's on her skills here, Kumiko stance. Yeah, this one. And also using Valkyr here, I have a CTP of Insight on my White Fox. And so yes, this is the team up. This is how it looks, the first one. So let's go open up a Dimension Rift. A little suggestion for the Dimension Rift: just open up the normal one, farm as much as you can, and collect this one to open Mythic. So either normal, either Mythic, because on the Mythic you have the opportunity to get a 4-star artifact, and you can roll your other 4-star artifacts, or you can use the 4-star artifact you can get for yourself, of course, but pretty much it's useless artifacts here. Most of them are not doing a lot, so you want to farm 4-star to go into the ones that you need, like the one I have for Thor, Jean and Magneto, and re-roll them into others. So for now I'm going into the normal one. I'm going to open a normal one because I don't have a lot of the others, and let's slap into my Thor on difficulty 6 to see how fast he can go through this. And that's something I'm going to figure out for my account also, and generally who is the best farmer. Cheers. And by the way, this is the new hoodies from my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dojo, you know, where I'm training, and that's our symbol. It's like a lion or something. And yes, I really enjoy. Oh my god, I lost 4 seconds here. I lost 4 seconds. I repeat, I'm gonna add 4 seconds on I'm gonna go minus 4 seconds on the run of Thor. And yes, I'm looking forward for these results. I mean, people is asking me, and I always suggest Thor. I know in the same time that Black Bolt is really good, but I don't have him as tier 4 to check him out. But we're gonna figure out about Jean, Thor and Magneto. Magneto is really cool because he got his own leadership, and that's something really rare from the tier 4s. If you consider what tier 4s we have get, like one of the characters that can do that in the same time is Storm. Storm and Magneto, it's the only characters that can buff themselves Oh, it's also Blue Dragon. Yes, it's Blue Dragon, Storm, and Magneto. The 3 tier 4s we have, and they can actually be the leaders of themselves or doing a passive ability, giving a passive ability to their team up and themselves in the same time. So here for my Thor, as you can see, it took me 2 minutes and 3 seconds to clear. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So it's pretty much 1 minute and 59 seconds, 0 seconds, 0 minutes and 59. So 0:59 for Thor. I'm gonna count this like 0:59 to be honest, because it was 4 seconds I was showcasing my hoodie instead of the team up. And let's go through Magneto. I'm going to use Dazzler here as a support. I'm gonna let Valkyrie, and Dazzler provides to all mutant kind this really nice buff. You really want to use this 65%. Of course, it's only for boss type, so perhaps is not really this is not really important for the stages, but as we know, you know, she is a really good support for the mutants, so I'm gonna use here. But yes, you know what, to be honest, I'm gonna use Taskmaster with Magneto, because my Taskmaster also got a CTP of Insight and my Dazzler had, but Taskmaster gives a generic buff for against all villains. So I prefer this one because it's against superhero also and supervillain also. And in this stage, you have to consider that some characters are not a specific type, or you know, they're not all villains. As you can see, the enemies you're going through, somehow you can see the enemies, but I'm not sure how. No, you can't see the enemies here. But yes, some of the enemies are heroes in these stages, so with Taskmaster you can take advantage of his buff and do damage against villain and superheroes. So that's why, in my opinion, Taskmaster is one of the best supports if you don't have, you know, someone like Thor, where can take advantage of Fox and Valkyrie. You can add him instead. So yeah, let's see here. My Magneto, how fast he's doing it. I really enjoy Magneto also because I feel like he got a lot of skills to cancel, so he's not stacking into a specific area, casting a skill like Thor do, you know. Thor's auto skills, auto rotation basically, got his 5th skill on it, and his 5th skill, it's so annoying because he's standing there and doing the skill even if every single enemy is dead. But as you can see here, my Magneto is close to Thor already. Yeah, it's really close. Oh, Magneto better. Okay. Magneto did it like 5 seconds faster. 5 seconds faster than Thor with Brilliant Rage. That's something. That's something. Okay, so Magneto better than my Thor. Okay, and let's use something similar here. I'm going to keep Taskmaster because of the fact that I told you previously, you know, that he can do damage both on superhero and supervillain, and some of the enemies are superheroes. And here I'm going to use this team up. I'm going to use leadership of Ghost Panther. Ghost Panther is the best leadership and support for Jean Grey. See, he is out of your mind good. And I'm gonna use Taskmaster also. I'm gonna set Dealer Jean here because I don't want to take advantage of your leadership. You can take advantage of you know, Ghost Panther's leadership and set Dealer to here. So when the stage is going to start, the game immediately gonna swap into the dealer you have. So Jean Grey is going to do all the damage. So let's see if my Jean going to drop more damage than Magneto and Thor. And the worst thing with Jean, I think it's her 3rd skill, because it's a skill that she's staying a lot on it. you need to cast all these fires to come from the sky, so you need to wait more. But as you can see on here, rotation, AI rotation, she's not using it a lot. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, where's the boss? Yeah, this one, it's, you know, it's Hawkeye. It's a hero, so you can't take advantage from the buffs against supervillain or boss types. So when you're picking a support, you need to consider that. In the start of the video, I wasn't considering that, so that's something new for me. I'm learning also through that. So I'm gonna give another shot on my Thor because I feel like Valkyr and Kumiko-san's Fox, White Fox, is not giving him a buff against superheroes. And you can see here, oh my god, Jean took the last place. Weird. I was expecting her to be the best, but feels like she's 7 seconds slower than Thor, because Thor was 059, so she's 106, and my Magneto was 56. So Magneto feels to be the fastest at the moment, but let's give another shot to my boy Thor and let's try to make him feels a bit better. Let's try this team up and let's go with leadership of Fox, so I can take advantage of all debuffs also and her buff from the uniform, and also Taskmaster to see if this is going to make any big difference. But I mean, for Magneto and for Jean Grey, I feel like I used the best team up. But let's see here with Thor what it's gonna look like, you know, swapping Valkyr, a better support versus supervillain, into Taskmaster, a character that gives you damage against heroes also. So we're gonna see my theory here. I mean, the thing that I was saying before, that most of the characters here are not supervillains. So let's see if indeed Thor is doing more with Taskmaster instead of Valkyr. And here you can see the thing I was telling. He was dropping his 5th skill and he was into animation. This is really annoying. Look at this. He's standing still there. Even if the enemies are aware and are away, he's not following them somehow. And his tier 3 is completely destroying the enemies. And look at this! Oh my god. Taskmaster actually feels better for like 20 seconds? No, it's 15 seconds faster. With Taskmaster, I did, oh my god, 15 seconds faster? So that's why I just thought that we could go here and use also Mystique. Mystique got the same buff with Taskmaster, is good against superhero and supervillains. So using Thor's leadership with double support that doing damage against heroes and villains could help even more. For Jean Grey, I already used Ghost Panther, which gives her fire. Oh no. Okay, that was a fail one. Let's try again, you know. Okay, that's with the proper striker. So we're starting with Thor now. And yes, let's see. So for Jean Grey, I was fair enough using, you know, 2 supports, and one was Ghost Panther, giving her also the 50% fire damage. So from, you know, and I also used Taskmaster. So Ghost Panther and Taskmaster provide here the maximum out of it. So for Jean Grey, there's no better supports to use like I'm doing now with Thor. But you can see he's staying into his 5th skill like an idiot there. But this was really fast also. And let's see. Come on, bro. Come on. Okay, a 5th skill there helps because the mobs are keep dropping there. And yes, come on, mobs, drop. Okay, so as it seems, the real deal breaker. Okay, this is similar time using I did similar time using Valkyr and Fox here, but using Fox as a leadership was the real deal, you know. So bro, as it seems, Thor is the best to farm, but with a team like that, and him as as the dealer. Oh my god, I just figured this out, and yes, the teams I used with Magneto and Jean was similar, so I don't feel I was unfair with the others. I feel like Thor is the number one farmer in the game for Rifts, 100%. Either if you use him with other ways, but this thing here, having Fox as leadership, feels like it adds a lot. This leadership with all debuff effects and debuff durations, it's really important, as it seems. For some reason, it's really important for Rifts. And yes, for, you know, it took me a lot of time to realize stuff about Rifts, so yes, I'm not gonna do these parts also, but in my opinion, this thing here is like the best deal for these spots. 3 characters that you have tier 4 and they can farm also real good. A really good character here could be Storm as a tier 4 because she provides a buff for herself also and boost the damage of Jean Grey and Thor. So you can use here leadership of Thor and Storm as another character if you have here tier 4, of course. But also there are characters like Black Bolt, there are characters like Professor X that they feel like they can farm because they can take advantage of CTP of raids and don't have to proc or CTP of judgment, so you're not losing the procs through the Dispatch Rift farming, and also they are doing AoE effects damage a lot. So yeah, that was it. I hope I helped you decide what are you going to use for farming these rifts. That was my ideas. For Dispatch, go full on DPS. For rifts, you know, to support 1 DPS feels to be the best. And yes, the team ups I used and the support teams, perhaps there are some better. So if you have any suggestion, drop it down below in the comments. Let me know your farming team and the team that is the best in your opinion. In my opinion, Thor is the number 1 still. Even if I have this Jean Grey, looks that fat, she's still behind the master of farming, Thor. So that was it. See you into the next. Kisses in your faces.